a shadowy world of crime that spreads its impact far and wide, reaching from the cold streets of Moscow to bustling cities across the globe. The Russian Mafia, a name that strikes both awe and fear, didn't just appear out of nowhere. Born in the chaos of the Soviet Union's last days, this network of ruthless crime groups has grown into a powerful international force. In this video, we'll uncover the dark beginnings of the Russian Mafia, trace its rise through the ranks of power, and reveal how it became a key player in the world of global crime. We are going to step into the hidden corridors of the past to see how deep these roots go. Rewind to the aftermath of the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. The collapse of the old Tsarist regime left a power vacuum that was quickly exploited by various emergent criminal groups. These groups were not bound by familial or ethnic ties, which is typical of organized crime in many other regions, such as the Italian or Colombian mafias. Instead, their unity was based on shared economic interests and survival within the social chaos. They capitalized on the lack of effective governance by smuggling scarce goods, running illegal gambling rings, and selling prohibited alcohol, rapidly establishing a shadow economy and their own brutal order where state control had diminished. Next, pay attention to the Soviet Gulags, renowned prisons that unintentionally doubled as criminal universities. The most seasoned criminals gathered here, made friends, and created the Vori v Zakon, or thieves in law, which came to denote a member's high standing in the criminal community. These criminals developed a distinct set of behaviors, laws, principles, and penalties that set them apart from other criminals. These practices frequently included intricate rituals and a rigorous code of conduct that included an oath prohibiting cooperation with the government. These criminal networks extended their control over the growing black markets that expanded throughout and outside of the USSR by using their newly discovered unity and the skills they had developed in the Gulags, as World War II worsened the social upheavals. During this time, disorganized crime began to change into highly organized criminal groups that would eventually become well known throughout the world. The early 1990s in Russia were chaotic. With the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991, everything was up for grabs: the economy, factories, oil fields, you name it. This disorder was perfect for those who were bold and ruthless. Wealthy business people, known as oligarchs, quickly grabbed as much as they could. Often they had the mafia either supporting them or leading the effort. As Russia moved towards a market economy, the lines between legitimate business and criminal activity blurred. Crime lords and tycoons split up the old Soviet resources, turning major cities into their own territories. The fights over these resources made places like Moscow battlegrounds as different criminal groups vied for control. The Russian Mafia didn't just stay in Russia, they went global. They made connections with other big criminal groups like the Italian Mafia, Chinese triads, and Japanese Yakuza. Together, they built a criminal network that reached across the world. They got involved in all sorts of illegal activities, moving drugs, weapons, and even people across countries with scary precision. One of their biggest operations was money laundering. The Mafia moved their illegal profits through Western banks and businesses, cleaning their dirty money. This didn't just make them richer, it made them almost impossible to stop. They became so intertwined with the global economy that trying to remove them without causing bigger problems seemed nearly impossible. The Russian Mafia today looks very different from when it first started. They have spread their activities across various types of crime, not just the typical ones like theft or extortion. Nowadays, they are heavily involved in cybercrime, where they steal from people and businesses through the internet, and financial fraud, tricking banks and people out of large amounts of money. They have become very good at using modern technology to avoid getting caught by the police. Their criminal network spans the globe, with groups active on almost every continent, showing just how much they've grown. One of the most worrying aspects of the Russian Mafia is their close ties with some political leaders. These relationships provide them with protection from the law, which allows them to carry on their criminal activities with little fear of being caught. This connection between crime and politics means they can also influence government decisions to benefit their interests. This deep involvement makes it extremely difficult for anyone trying to stop them, because they are protected by powerful people. A very sad example of how dangerous the Russian mafia can be is the story of Anna Politkovskaya, a courageous journalist who was murdered in 2006. She was known for her fearless reporting on the Russian government's corruption and human rights abuses, often highlighting the mafia's role in these issues. She was killed in her own apartment building in Moscow, a murder that shocked many people and showed just how bold the mafia is. While the hitmen were arrested and convicted, the people who ordered her assassination have never been caught. This unresolved case shows the mafia's reach and influence, as well as the challenges the justice system faces in fully addressing such high-profile crimes. The Russian mafia's reach into various aspects of life in Russia is profound. They control significant portions of the economy by manipulating markets and owning numerous businesses, some of which appear legitimate. This influence creates instability and erodes public trust, as people see how deeply the mafia is embedded within their country. Regular citizens feel the negative impact the most. Their quality of life is reduced, and their freedoms are limited because of the mafia's actions. This widespread influence undermines society's stability and security. Beyond Russia, the mafia has formed alliances with other powerful criminal groups worldwide. They are deeply involved in international crimes such as trafficking drugs across borders, moving illegal weapons, and laundering money through foreign banks. Their use of sophisticated technology not only makes them harder to catch but also more dangerous, as they can coordinate large-scale criminal operations from afar. As they continue to expand and adapt, they pose even bigger challenges for law enforcement agencies around the world. Dealing with such a well-connected and technologically adept criminal organization will require increased international cooperation and a strong commitment to law enforcement innovation. The rise of the Russian mafia is not just a story of crime, it's a mirror reflecting the tumultuous waves of Russia's history. From the chaotic aftermath of the Bolshevik Revolution to the global digital age, the mafia's journey from local thugs to international crime lords offers a stark insight into the interplay between society and organized crime. As this nefarious network continues to influence global security and politics, understanding its evolution is key to combating its reach. If you're interested in the shadowy world of organized crime and its impact on history and society, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more deep information into true crime stories. Thanks for watching Crime Republic. Until next time.